Welcome to a beautiful day here at Firebird International Raceway as we kick off the 2011 season with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. This is the Toyota Off-Road Nationals presented by Mastercraft Safety. Hello, I'm Ken Stout, standing right alongside Showtime, baby. Jeremy McGrath will join me in the booth all year long when we're covering the Pro 2s and, of course, the Pro Lights. Great to have you with us. Pro 2, definitely one of those categories that has enjoyed a silly season, if you will. We have new people inside of new trucks, new names inside of the category. Brian Deegan will be chasing a championship. Twitch Stenberg has stepped up out of the Super Lights. Marty Hart, the Pro Light champion, now in a Pro 2. And you, my friend, also chasing the championship. But the guy that's on top of the qualified field is still the same.
Yeah, obviously we use Rob Mack as the benchmark. We're all chasing him. It's good to see the new guys in the field. I'm really excited to be back at the Lucas Series now. And really pumped on the new Stronghold Motorsports team, and gosh, looking for a big year.
A brand new truck for you. I think another name we have to bring out is Carl Renezetter, who really had an up and down year a year ago, but no doubt that's a championship winning team. They'll get back up on the horse and charge hard. What do you think the chances are? Where do you fare inside of this very, very stiff field?
Well, you know, Pro 2 is an amazing field, like you said. There's a lot of competition out there. Guys like Carl, guys like Rob, and all of us new guys coming in. It's going to be stacked, and I think with the new truck, the new team, it's probably more important to get the bugs out, get the confidence up, start to battle up front, and hopefully get our share of wins by the mid-season, catch our stride, and see what we can do for the championship.
Of course, you picked up your first career win a year ago. We wish you more of those. Take a look at this racetrack. It is beautiful. Take us for a lap here, Showtime.
All right, looks like you roll onto the front straightaway. You hit the tabletop underneath the check flag. Make a left-hand corner into very deep left. Get some speed, hit a couple tables down the straightaway. You're going really fast there. You got a big bank, turn 2. Down the hill, my favorite jump, the big ski jump. Right into the tight right. Got to get your drive, hit the little double. Big step up out of the corner there. Into the left. Got to decide whether you're doing the split lane, inside, outside. Make a turn 5 left over the last table into the finish line.
And that step-up has proven to be very difficult. The Firebird International Raceway. The Pro 2 competitors have had 3 months to recover. That guy is the champ. His name is Rob McCachran. He knows how to get it done and set a standard in 2010. That's the former champ, and that's a Pro Light champ, and that's a 7-time Supercross champ. They're all here. They're all ready to throw it down here in round number 1. I'd like to welcome my friend Cameron Steele back up here to the booth. Congrats. I mean, you got out there, shook the first one down. Unfortunately, something went wrong with the truck. I heard power steering.
Yeah, the belt blew off, actually, while we were waging war there in the middle of the pack. But we've learned some stuff, and I'm excited now. I mean, after being out on the track, this is a tricky one to drive because there are some real slick spots, and I'm ready to see the big horsepower. 800 horses going out there with these Pro 2s.
As we watch the Pro 2s, of course, much like your truck, more suspension, more horsepower, but full fenders. They have a lot of contact as we take a look at this General Tire starting grid.
Yeah, Deegan coming right out of the front with Bryce Menzies, a couple of big hitters, and then followed by the 2 past champions, Carl Renezetter and Rob Mack. Adler and Woods definitely have the speed and have shown it many times as well.
In row number 4, Twitch Stenberg stepping up from the Silver Lights, and of course the reigning Pro Light champ Marty Hart. And then Rob Knott, the former Pro Light champ, Jeremy McGrath, we showed you him before, Rodrigo Ampudia, and great to have Robbie Pierce back out here.
Absolutely, row 7, my good buddy Jeff Geiser and Nick Tyree on the inside, Scott Martinson and Pete Soren in his first ever Pro 2 race. Then Jesse James and Craig Potts out of row 9, both first-timers, as are the drivers when we go back to row 10. Mayan Spaccarelli coming out of Pro Buggy, Greg Nunley coming from the Desert Racing Series.
And we'll round the field out with John Gaston, another rookie, and the Rockstar Energy Drink girls say we are going green. Well over 20 trucks out here. The racetrack is full.
And just to point it out real quick, the rookies that we're talking about, starting back there with Pete Soren, who was the fastest of them, they could not qualify better than 15th. They were in a second group that qualified by themselves, and they are starting in the back of the field so to not mix it up with the seasoned veterans.
Brian Deegan leads them to the stripe, but I think Bryce Menzies with the Red Bull back machine this year might have had a small edge going in. Deegan will come out with the lead, though, as he has the inside and preferred line.
And Deegan looked great at the end of last season in that Pro 2. Remember, he's doing double duty. We just saw him win in the Pro Light as we go on board with the Lucas Oil onboard camera, and Deegan, a 12-time X Game medalist, both on the bikes and in the cars, and that is a great shot. Wow, that is a lot of horsepower out on the track at one time, Ken.
Awesome start there for everybody. You can see those guys beating and banging deep. There's a good look at Greg Adler, the four-wheel parts machine, off the back of Carl Rennesetter's truck, and Greg Adler and the company stepping up to be the official off-road parts retailer of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series this year. So great to have them on board with us.
And Deegan in his number 38 Rockstar Energy Drink Metal Militia sponsored truck, doing work. And here on board with the General Tire camera, Carl Rennesetter. Last year he wasn't the champion. The year before he was the Pro 4 and Pro 2 champion. This guy really, when you talk to him in the pit, he is focused on putting it all back together. Oh, lots of contact. Oh, and Naughton doing a great job staying on the gas as he lands sideways.
And now a great job of staying off the gas because he wanted to pull out there, much like Rodrigo and Pudia did at the fairgrounds a few years ago that caused a huge wreck. But look in the back. Look at that truck pushing the Monster Energy Pack machine. That is Marty Hart. He gets to the wall. Rodrigo follows him, and Naughton tries to drive underneath Rodrigo. They get together up in midair. That usually spells disaster.
For sure, and I think that was a product of everybody pushing so hard into that turn 2 with the freshly groomed and water track and slippery. They pushed way to the outside and had to recover to get back over that big ski jump that we're now seeing Deegan and Bryce Menzies go over in. Both of these guys very aggressive when they want to be, but both very calculated drivers as well. And you can see the difference here in these Pro 2s versus the Pro Lights. In my class in the lights, we were slamming into that step-up quite a bit. These Pro 2s are able to actually set up and go sideways over the jump a little bit if they want to set for the next corner.
That, my friend, is the difference between 300 horsepower and 900 horsepower. All right, Rob Supper has more on that truck that's pulled off to the side.
Hey, fellas, real quick, we see the 27 of Scott Martinson, who stopped on the racetrack, ran just 6 times with us last year, both the 2 top 10s. It looks like they're going to tow him off the racetrack as he was unable to get that thing refired.
A tough break there for Martinson.
Round 1, bomber time, and we were taking a good look at the Hart and Huntington Mav TV sponsor number 88 of Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, actually on board there with the E3 Sparkplugs cam as he does battle with Robbie Woods. And you know, just last year he was driving a Superlight, now he's in an 800 horsepower truck. Superlight is an arrive and drive program where anybody can sign up to race if they have trucks available. I believe it's $7,500, and Twitch won the championship, and now he's driving in the big league.
There's your Rockstar Energy Drink top 5. Brian Deegan, much like in Pro Life, leads the Pro 2. International Raceway, the Pro 2 category out here from Toyota. Off-Road Nationals presented by Mastercraft Safety. It is a Rockstar Energy Drink Metal Militia truck that is out front. Brian Deegan looking for his first podium in the category. Right behind him, Bryce Menzies now flying the Red Bull colors. A full-back team by Red Bull, and then, of course, the former champ, multi-time champ, Carl Rennesetter, who was just off the pole in qualifying by a couple of tenths. Is he back?
When you talk to Carl, he is definitely fired up, and Bryce lifted just a little bit there. You'll watch these Pro 2s who go on board with Carl. They'll try to ride the ballet line, I like to call it, around the outside, just on the edge of the fluff. And you saw Bryce wedge just a little bit, and his truck started to come up, and it almost gave Carl enough to dive underneath. And speaking almost enough, Rob McCachran is right there, hawking them as well in the 4th position.
Some smoke out of Adler's as you watch Robbie Woods. Of course, Robbie Woods just absolutely on fire at the end of 2010. He really came on like gangbusters, put on quite a show at round 13, I believe it was, in Las Vegas, when he led the entire race except for the last lap. Carl snuck the win away from him, but it was quite an impressive run. Oh, and Jeremy Stenberg goes all the way around, Twitch all the way around in a circle there.
And a bummer for Jeremy, but he gets it righted and headed in the correct direction as we take a look at the number 58, Southwest Title and Loan Pro 2, new to the class. That is the Canada onboard camera shot of Jesse James. That's right, of motorcycle building fame, a racer of many things. And one thing, Jesse hasn't had a lot of time inside this truck. He's racing with the Potts Racing guys, and he's just still getting familiar with the vehicle. And oh, Gaston, number 23 of the Chronic Energy Dodge Ram. He looks like he may be out. We'll see if he can get it refired. But right now, there is a battle going on up front as these drivers moving through the lappers. And
nice save by Bryce.
Oh, and Nunley right there trying to stay out of the way in the Clean Power number 25, I believe, as they go to the mandatory caution. So not a huge foul there for Carl Renesetter.
Yeah, he's going to dodge a bullet here as that mandatory caution comes out. And that was a good look, by the way, from Brian Deegan. You talked about those guys setting up on that step up, landing it sideways for that left-hander. As you take a look at the 23 there, and of course, Gaston, unfortunately there, just stuck right in the middle, can't even back out.
And it's very cool of him to stay where he was and not try to back into traffic. We've seen other drivers do it. You were talking about earlier. So dangerous to pull out in front of moving traffic.
Your Rockstar Energy drink, top 5 at the mandatory caution, are as follows. We're going to shake it up in the back half. Welcome back to Toyota Off-Road Nationals, presented by Mastercraft Safety, round 1 of the Pro 2 category of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Toyota Pace Truck out front, sponsored by Blanco Basura. Of course, the Rockstar Energy Drink girls telling the fans that we are going green this time around. Brian Deegan has led since the drop of the green flag. Right behind him, Bryce Menzies with a Red Bull truck, and behind him, Carl Renesetter looking to pick up a spot. Then, of course, the reigning champ, and right off the bat, it is Greg Adler who picks up a spot as we go on board with him. The 4-wheel parts onboard camera looking back at Robbie Woods. Woo!
Yikes, hang on to your hats and glasses, folks, as Marty Hart almost tackling the back as we take a look at Brian Deegan. Actually, Rob Klepper can add a little more.
Cameron Steele, I was curious, with Brian Deegan doing double duty, running the light and then jumping in the Pro 2, does that help him or hurt him? We heard earlier today that Deegan told the crew that he didn't feel like he had that much power under the hood, and they said, man, you're in the Pro light. So is it help him or hurt him by running double duty from a light to the 2?
I'm going to say 95% help, Rob, because I've been in this situation running multiple classes and just more track time, getting revved up, being ready, having the race face on, that really helps. The downside, he's switching from a 4-cylinder to an 8-cylinder, but it doesn't look like it's been hampering him at all, and he's a professional driver. I think he can switch from car to car without a big problem.
And I think the hard one is the Pro 2 to the Pro 4, because completely different driving styles, or a Pro buggy to a truck. But at least the Pro Light and the Pro 2, you're basically using a 2-wheel drive truck, using pretty much the same lines. A battle going on here. Bryce Menzies trying to take the spot away and gets it done from Brian Deegan. It's a battle up in the front. By the way, 3 different sets of tires here. BFG's up in the front, then Max's, and then of course Carl Renesetter representing General Tire, and he closes the gap now.
And the one thing of interest is the drivers, they can pick a tire that's going to be better when it's wet and slippery early in the race, or they can pick a tire that is better for drier conditions or blue groove hard pack conditions, which it happens to be later in the race. And right now, Deegan is having a battle on his hands. First, Bryce Menzies, who set him up really well by getting a little sideways on the jump and diving to the inside of him, and now having a battle with Carl Renesetter, who's also solidified the pass. And here comes Rob McCachran.
Yeah, Carl and McCachran really put on a nice show. Looked like a drifting contest as they went through their 2 different lines, side by side, but never touched each other. 2 of the absolute best of all time doing battle.
Just really amazing to watch. I mean, it's really hard for a fan to understand that hasn't been to the race or hasn't raced something with this much horsepower. These guys are going so fast into the corners and rotating the truck and hanging onto it. It's like holding onto a grenade in your hand. I mean, it can go wrong so quickly. As we look at the Papa Severe Lucas Oil sponsored truck of Rodrigo Ampudia, the red and white truck number 36, go underneath that 4-wheel parts wholesaler's truck of Greg Adler. And Rodrigo's always willing to put on a show. If you're not familiar with the series, Rodrigo, the showman from Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico.
Now McCachran, the big number 1 on the inside, 2 Rockstar Energy drink trucks, and of course, the reason we don't see a Todd LeDuc in here is these are Rockstar trucks. He moved to Pro 4. We have the 2 Rockstar trucks here now, and Rob McCachran and Brian Deegan. So interesting stuff here. Teammates, not necessarily, but sharing the same sponsors. And it looked like Deegan might have been looking for some traction in the fluff. McCachran down to the bottom where it's hard. There's your Rockstar Energy drink, top 5. just a couple of laps left here in the Pro 2 category. Out front, the Red Bull back machine, driven by Bryce Menzies, looking for a win, and Cole Renesetter over-rotates just a little bit. That's going to cost him a lot of real estate. And then back behind him, the battle for third is Rob McCachran. Just goes around Brian Deegan.
Looks like Brian broke some traction there coming out of turn 5 and not able to keep the position. How frustrating, leading a big part of the race and now looking out from the outside in on the podium, but he's not giving up. He is trying to charge that inside. That's where Rob McCachran has been doing a lot of his work, and now Rob driving on that fast line right on the edge there of the fluff.
Looking for some grip up and over the step up. Bryce Menzies still out front, who has been known to falter late in a race, but now no real pressure on him. White flag coming out. He hasn't won a race since 2009. Round 10, has 3 career race wins in the category. Looking for his 4th here, but this battle for third was heating up. Now it looks like Rob has command over.
And you can see I was talking about that blue groove. That's where the pavement basically looks like blue concrete there. Deegan going to the inside, now maybe looking to set something up here. Broke traction again, but he's still going to dive to the inside and try to make it work, or use Rob as the berm, which is the case here.
So, a huge hit.
Door-to-door bump, and that is all good. We've been getting a lot of talking to by the officials. Oh!
A little back, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle. Brian broke traction a little bit. Rob definitely helping him around, so see if the officials have anything to say about that. Here's the number 1 truck, so 3rd place for Rob Mack. Of course, your
Rob
winner.
Woods, and then look at that battle.
Oh,
Adler just nudges Deegan out, so Deegan ends up 6th there after he was sitting in 3rd briefly.
And real quick, of course, the winner, as I was starting to say, Bryce Menzies over Carl Renesetter. Fireworks now at the end of the race, but there's some fireworks during the race. Let's take a look back. Deegan dives to the inside and going for the dive bomb move and using Rob Mack as the berm, and there is some definite contact there. I don't think that Brian could have thought he was going to get through that cleanly.
And right here, no question, Rob McCachran was looking to get even, get a little bit back. I don't know that he wanted to loop him completely out like that, but definitely wanted to get the spot back. So, you know, typically you don't see Rob McCachran do that unless somebody's done it to him. Another look at it.
He's pretty hard on the binders there, trying not to get into Deegan early, but then I think once he sees Deegan stepped out, he figures, oh, I'll just help him around.
Nonetheless, it will be interesting here on the backside of this race. That is your winner, though. Of course, the Red Bull back machine of Bryce Menzies. New colors for him. This is your Geico race recap. Let's get it going because Brian Deegan had command of this race early on.
Doing work early. Contact here, and Pudia gets together with Knott, and they both pull it together. Deegan with a little stutter there, and Bryce Menzies gets through on the inside and then takes off, so to speak. Carl Renesetter also with a good move on the inside of Deegan.
Then Deegan finally gathers it back up. Renesetter over-rotates a bit, and that gives Bryce Menzies some breathing room to come home with the win. But then the battle starts between Rob McCachran and Brian Deegan. That's what we just showed you there. You can see heavy contact as Deegan looks to take the spot away, and then Rob McCachran returns the favor and maybe a little bit more. All right, let's go down to the winner's circle.
Bryce, what a class and what a way to start the season. You made that pass on Brian, and that really got you to the front, and you took off from there. What a great race.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was following Brian around for a while and just watching what he was doing, and I knew I had to get out in front of him after the yellow, so I knew Carl and the guys were coming. So, you know, we just made our move on him and went out front, and, you know, it's just a great way to start the season with Red Bull coming aboard and all of our new sponsors. You know, I couldn't be more happy for the team, and they put so much effort into this, and it was just a great race battling with all the guys. Deegan, he was on it today, so, you know, big props to him, and just a great way to start the season off.
Well, the number 7 on top of the podium here at Firebird International Raceway.
Carl Renesetter starts 3rd, comes home 2nd. We saw Brian Deegan out front. Another young gun, Bryce Menzies, there chasing him to the finish. Are we happy with the way you started 2011, my friend?
You know, I can't complain. Pair of podiums, 2nd place has been amazing. We've done a lot of testing in the off-season, changed a lot of things. So this is great validation for our team. I had him on the ropes, though. I had him, and it slipped out of my hands, but I'm not going to let that happen again. At least I'm not going to try to. This Lucas Oil General Tire truck is just amazing. We did so much tire development in the off-season that really helped out a lot, and all of our other sponsors, King Shocks, Team Associated, Cannon Air Filters, everybody else that supports this has been amazing. Magnet Flow exhaust. So I just want to say thank you to our sponsors and our team.
So a great start for Carl Renesetter, of course, with Bryce Menzies, but we are now hearing that the black flag has flown and it's going to go against Rob McCackren.
Well, the series has brought on Tommy Morris, who is now our rough driving official, and it sounds like he's made the call against the series champion, Ken.
Well, I mean, he was crew chief for Jerry Welchel, so he should understand rough driving, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it down and find out more on the story. Guys?
This guy then talking to Tony Vanello. Obviously, Robbie Woods get put on third, so that moves you back a spot after battling with McCackren. Just a crazy way to kick off the season, bud.
Yeah, it is crazy, but I guess we didn't build the militia on no drama, right? In the end, hey, we start the season off with drama, and it's all good. Hey, it's all race, and we're all having fun, so I'm excited. We had a good race, and I'm not quite sure how everything really panned out there in the end, but, you know, I'd like to at least get points for third, so that would be cool, because I'm more worried about a championship, so...
Well, folks, we've had some changes.
Rob, when you finished, you came across the checkered in third place, but we just heard the ruling now. What was the verdict, and what happened out there?
Well, it looks like we're going to receive a black flag, and that sends us back to, at this point, you know, last finish on the last lap. So, you know, not a good situation for us. And, you know, we didn't have a truck to win out there today. We were trying to get everything out of it that we could. And, you know, Deegan was leading the beginning, the whole first almost 3/4 of the race. And finally, Bryce got by him, Carl got by him, and then it was my turn to get by him. And, you know, we raced him clean for 2 or 3 laps, you know, just trying to get underneath him, never touched him at all. And going in, I got by him clean and led in front of him for a couple laps. And then going into turn 3 on the last lap, he drove, you know, all the way in hard and used me basically to turn and make the corner. And going into the next corner, I guess I did a little retaliation to get him back. And, you know, we got penalized, and that's the way it is. And I just want to know, I want the Lucas Oil organization to clarify how we're going to start racing from now on. And if you can, it looks right now like you can use somebody to turn as long as you don't spin them, but you can't hit them and spin them.
Well, dramatic start to the 2011 season, guys.
Let the games begin.
Well, just by the tone of Rob Mack's voice and the way he was talking, he's kind of looks like he's accepting the penalty, so to speak. He wasn't all fired up, so I think he knows he maybe got into him and spun him out.
All right, round number 1 in the books. By the way, we'd love to see at one of our events, take a look at the 2011 season schedule. It'd be great. If you think it's awesome on TV, you got to come out and live it live, baby. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chandler, Arizona. We're just outside of Phoenix for round number 2 of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Hello, I'm Ken Stout, and Jeremy McGrath joins me in the booth today as we cover the Pro 2 category. It is the Toyota Off-Road Nationals presented by Mastercraft Safety, and round number 1, they already took the gloves off. It is on, man. Right off the bat, you have to talk about Rob McCackren, Brian Deegan. Deegan doing really well. Mac, you expect to do well, but those 2 guys got into it. The black flag flew.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, in Pro 2, we know there's going to be some carnage. Hopefully not too bad. Yesterday, Brian and Rob got into it, got heated at the end. Rob got the penalty, and gosh, I mean, they were having a heck of a race up front, which I wish I was part of.
I'm sure you do, and of course, you always have that option here in round number 2 today. You have to take a look at Carl Renesetter. He's up there on the box. It looks like he found some speed again. And Robbie Woods, who had a number of podiums. In fact, the last 3 rounds, going back to 2010, was on the podium rounds 13, 14, 15. Because of the penalty, he finds himself on the box.
Yeah, he was in the right spot at the right time. I mean, he ends up on the box. A lot of these guys are coming on strong. They got a lot of momentum. And, hey, I mean, if someone's going to make a mistake, you got to be able to capitalize on it. He was there, and good for him.
Boys are ready to come out to play here at the Toyota Off-Road Nationals presented by Mastercraft Safety. Time now for round 2 of Pro 2. Bryce Menzies picked up the first win of the season, but they're all back and hungry. Of course, we've already documented what happened between Rob McCackren and Brian Deegan, so that battle is on, even though McCackren says, that's it, man, it's over. I'm going to let it go. I will tell you, of all the people out there, he's probably the one I would first believe that he will check it up and let it go.
I agree. Let's take a look at our Mastercraft starting lineup. Deegan on the pole all by himself. Marty Hart had to do an engine change and went farther back in the field. Renesetter and McCackren in row 2. Menzies and Woods, the young guns, coming out of row number 3.
All right, row 4, Rob Naughton and Jeremy McGrath. Rodrigo and Pudian, Greg Adler in row 5, and row 6, Jeremy Stenberg and Jeff Geiser will be back there trying to work their way up through a tough 10 trucks ahead of them.
Row 7, Scott Martinson and Robbie Pierce. And then on the inside of 8, Nick Tyree and Marty Hart after the engine change. And then the new drivers to the class, Mayan Spaccarelli and Pete Soren. And also in row number 10 will be Greg Nunley and Jesse James. Because they were new, those 4 drivers, they had to start in the back of the pack and had their own qualifying session. Here we go, going green, Ken, ready to disco.
That's what it's all about. The green flag waves, and Brian Deegan is out front once again.
Renazetter with the nose on McCackern. That's Renazetter and the number 17 Lucas Oil General Tire sponsor machine, the all-white truck. Here comes the McCackern looking up the inside. Very slippery here in 2. You'll see the trucks as they drift out. McCackern actually drifted a couple lanes, and Menzies in the 7th taking a look on that inside.
Yeah, McCackern went down to the bottom, but like you said, it's sloppy, so the truck started to push. He actually had to get on the brakes a couple times to stay out of Renazetter.
And if you remember back, towards the end of the season here at Firebird. Oh, and here comes Menzies trying to prove his point that he's on a run. After winning 1 round to go, he put the door on Rob Mack. You remember Rob Mack really liked the insides of the corners, especially turn 3. He did a lot of work down in there. We'll see if he uses it again. And here goes Mack using that inside we were talking about. And he looks like he makes it clean in front of Menzies, but then the drag race into 2.
There's a big rut down there in turn 1, and early on in these races, before it really gets nasty, you can actually use it and get a little bite off of it, and that's exactly what McCackern did.
And I can tell you from racing through that rut later in the race, you have to go to the inside, outside, or straddle it while sliding the truck. It is really a spot where you can tip the truck over if you're being really aggressive. And Naughton looking to battle. That's Robert Naughton in the number 54 yellow and black Stronghold Motorsports Ready Lift sponsor machine. He was looking to do some dice in there with Renazetter, but Renazetter's now gapped him, and oh, Rob Mack off the pace.
Something mechanical has gone wrong with the Rockstar energy drink back machine. The reigning champ, Rob McCackern, has pulled off to the side, is definitely off the pace. You can see him back in there. Look at Jeremy McGrath and Robbie Woods, but Rob McCackern still getting through the turn there a little quick, but not quite on pace. Let's check in with Rob.
Just heard over the radio that a vibration for Rob McCackern. Doesn't know if it's out of the engine or the rear diff, but definitely a vibration somewhere on that number 1 truck. The crew told me it's just enough to start slowing him down.
Well, anytime you have a vibration, you got to be cognizant of it, especially when you're racing for a championship, Ken. You can't just hammer the truck and then it's going to vibrate itself to death or break. So Rob Mack laying up, trying to get it to the finish line.
And what a difference a season makes. Last year, 1 year ago, the first 6 rounds, he was on the podium, including 3 wins. Here, he's yet to find the box in the first 2. These guys, though, are putting on a show. Bryce Menzies back behind Robert Naughton, and of course, Naughton, a former champion in the Pro Light category, stepped up into the Pro 2s, has been very solid, but is still seeking that first win.
Oh, and I can tell you, Naughton has been using that line coming through 4 where he changes lanes, and there's just that second where the truck kind of rolls over that edge, and it just looks a little uncomfortable, but he has really been using it a lot. And there's the number 10, the 4-wheel parts wholesaler's truck. That is Greg Adler, also another driver looking for his first win inside the category.
And Greg, a super individual as well. Right in front of him, Jeremy McGrath. He'd love to pick up his first win in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. And, oh yeah, Naughton and Menzies still going at it. Naughton not afraid to lean on you, and neither is Menzies. You can see that ready lift fender back there taking a beating, but neither one of those guys wanting to give up the spot. And here comes Menzies with a big run on the outside lane. Looks like he will get the spot, carrying the momentum, and Greg Nunley is off the pace right in the middle of the straightaway.
Such a dangerous spot to be stopped. The officials have the yellows out.
Your Rockstar Energy Drink, top 5, they're all chasing Brian Deegan. A dominant truck here in round number 2 of the Toyota Off-Road National, presented by Mastercraft Safety, with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series in the Pro 2 division right behind him. Of course, the multi-time champ and Carl Renazetter just back there kind of hawking like he does.
And Deegan, you know, he's a very wily racer. He knows what's going on, and oh, good jump too. He gives himself a little cushion. I was gonna say, with Carl Renzetter right behind you, you gotta be nervous because you know he is a great racer, great restarter, very solid veteran, and if there's a way to get by, he will find the way to make it happen. And Bryce Menzies actually looking to the inside there of Carl, and watch Bryce. This is where he's been able to change it up. Kind of starts the outside, goes inside smoothly, but not enough of a run to make it work on Renzetter.
It's tough. That right-hander is tough. If you take the inside, it seems like you lose a little momentum, and then he does a good job in the outside lane here, though, as the rule. Carl able to hang on to it, though. Carl reaching over for the shifter, which is a bit different for him here in 2011. Something he's learning as they've made a change in that department. And you can see already, Brian Deegan's already stretched it out a bit as we look back at Robbie Woods, Jeremy McGrath, also Marty Hart in there, number 15, Greg Adler, and Rodrigo Ampudia. Great onboard shot from the four-wheel parts onboard camera.
And Ampudia, who we haven't heard a lot from in this race so far, he is one of those drivers that and Renzetter comes around. It looked like that was the same spot where Menzies did a good job staying out of the back of Renzetter just a couple laps ago. And it looked like maybe he did the same. He may have lifted or gotten hard on the brakes and brought himself around.
Watch Deegan's line here. He's set up on the outside as though he's going to take the outside path, but he turns in late. And he does that frequently, but when he does that, he leaves the bottom open.
And it looked like Carl just got caught up and had to throw it a little sideways, get on the binders, get out of the throttle, and brought himself around. Bryce Menzies doing a good job not getting into him, and Deegs keeping that number 38 out front, but big props. These two guys have been battling it out. Robert Naughton, I mean, talk about a guy who puts a ton of pressure on himself. He's totally changed his diet and his routine. You see him carrying around like a 2-gallon bottle of water all the time, trying to get himself in the best possible shape. And oh, Ampudia with a little step out there. Now, at this time in the race, the track is going to start to get a little bit more tacky in the middle, start to develop that blue groove, and you'll see drivers driving on the edge of it, and every once in a while they'll find the slippery spot or they'll get into the marbles on the outside and it'll step out on them.
So the local caution flag area there as well. And how about that, Bryce Menzies now with problems, has pulled off in turn 3. Winner of round number 1 will not finish round number 2. Was in that vicious battle with Rob Naughton for the longest time. As they come back around here, the competition caution will fly. Brian Deegan picks up that bonus point for leading to the competition caution. Right behind him will be Robert Naughton, Big Naughton as he's known as. Oh, and a little love back there. Maybe we missed a little something there between Robbie Woods and Carl Renzetter, who really had one of the most amazing races at the tail end of last year.
Oh,
Robbie, I think, wanted to hit Carl and almost hit Greg Adler.
And you can't be doing that. You know, you got a cool heads must prevail. Robbie is known as a little bit of a hothead at times.
Your Rockstar Energy Drink Top 5. All right, we're back here at Firebird International Raceway with Toyota Off-Road Nationals presented by Mastercraft Safety. Brian Deegan has been out front the entire time with the Rockstar Energy Drink Metal Militia back machine. Right behind him, we will have teammates of Naughton and McGrath. Naughton looking for his first win ever. McGrath his first win in the series. Right behind him, Robbie Woods also looking for his first win. And now, Carl Renzetter, who apparently had a little bit of action with Robbie Woods a little bit early on, is just taking a spot away.
And he makes a clean pass. We should also mention that Brian Deegan is looking for his first Pro 2 win. So a lot of hungry drivers up there in the front, and of course lots of experience when you talk about Carl Renzetter. And here comes Marty Hart going wheel to wheel. Now you remember, he started way back in the back after an engine change, and he is making a run.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Robbie Woods can get after some people, but Marty Hart might not be the one you want to pick, because Marty Hart will roll on you. All right, let's get it down to Rob Clever, who has more on the teammates.
Guys, how about Rob Fignott and his teammate out of Stronghold Motorsports, Mr. Jeremy McGrath, running second and third. Cameron Steele, I know you gotta like that. They brought on veteran crew chief Dave Clark to help out with the 4-car program this year, and so far it's paying dividends. Deegan looking for his first Pro 2 win out front, as well as Rob Fignott, the reigning Pro 2 Rookie of the Year.
And big-time action back behind Greg Adler. Again, Robbie Wood's part of it with Rodrigo Ampudia. And, man, I'll tell you, there's a common denominator in every one of these situations so far that we've seen here in round 2, and it's a number 99 truck.
Yeah, and you know, for me, it's just, you can't analyze it because you can't tell what the drivers can really see inside the truck, but it almost looks like you hit them right in the door on purpose. I know they had some contact a little bit before that. There it is, and I don't know. What do you think there, Ken? Well, he definitely didn't steer away from him.
Yeah, and Rodrigo could have taken that high route and probably stayed away from him completely. Rodrigo's not afraid to throw it down either, so a couple of young bucks in there going at it.
Yeah, neither one of them minds trading a little paint or fiberglass, and McGrath going to the inside there as Deegan and Naughton going outside.
And when we first came here in 2010, the inside route was the quickest way around. But now it looks like the outside is the quickest way around. You're able to carry more momentum.
And that line I talked about a little bit earlier about Fig making that move over the berm before it gets to the first obstacle where it looks like the truck just kind of unweights itself. Watch as we come around here. And Deegan wedging just a little bit there, but able to maintain the position. Now, let's watch and see how Fig takes this corner. We've been talking about how he transfers from the inside up and over. And there it is. McGrath still to the inside. And look at that. He makes the move on Deegan. Deegan chops to the inside, trying to hold position, but not with the outside over the berm move working for a second. Deegan back to the front.
Great racing action here. And I remember a year ago when Deegan first got in this truck, it was Las Vegas. Woo, on 2, but saves it right there. But he put that truck in the top 5 right off the bat. And I'll tell you, somebody that was not happy about that was Rob Naughton, because he said, I know I can beat him. As we take a look at McGrath diving down on the bottom, but most certainly will not get into his teammate here.
And everybody from Stronghold Motorsports, the whole Bailey family, I'm sure, in the stands going absolutely nuts. And now only Rob Naughton is using that line. Obviously, you can't see it in front of you, Deegan, but MC is hawking him, and, well, Robbie Woods is in the pit.
Yeah, that's the end result of that style of racing. He's in the pits and out of any chance of picking up the podium here.
As we watch MC, the number 2 Monster Energy Drink sponsored truck, making the move to the inside. And you remember, Jeremy McGrath has 7 Supercross titles. He is no stranger to close quarters and making it work. And there he goes to the inside, and he makes the pass on Naughton. And oh, Deegan comes across.
And Naughton hangs on to the spot. So wild action at a turn number 3, and Rob Naughton takes advantage of it.
And McGrath goes to the outside. Actually, a little Supercross style banks off the outside of the berm, and it looks like now McGrath had the move made. Deegan comes across, and it looks like MC gets out of the throttle as to not have a big contact, and Rob Naughton shoots through.
McGrath just got a great run off the bottom of turn number 3, which typically you don't do, so that track is coming to these guys. But he had to check up just a little bit, otherwise he'd have kept the position in front of Naughton.
And here we have it, teammates. First and second, Deegan hawking, Adler not far behind. Now these two guys, woo! That's a little bit hair-raising being teammates in the front.
Rob Naughton looking for his first career win in Pro 2. The Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series has been brought to you by D3 Spark Plugs, born to burn. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Toyota. The white flag is flying. Rob Naughton's last win, you'd have to go back to the Pro Light Days 2009, round 12 at Prim. It's been a while.
It's been a while, and how sweet would it be for Rob Naughton to do it in front of the hometown fans? He's from Flagstaff, which is a couple hours up the road, but he does have a house in Phoenix as well. As you look at Brian rotating hard at the top of the turn, Adler giving chase, and Marty Hart there in the top 5. But the story is right here. Rob Naughton in the 54. Can he get it done? 2 turns ago, MC his teammate. You know it's going to be clean. I'm saying this is how it finishes up, and he's got a nice gap as he heads to the checkers.
Scott Bailey has to be smiling from ear to ear. Of course, the owner of Stronghold Motorsports, as his team trucks finish first and second. Jeremy McGrath, a solid effort as well. Right behind him, Brian Deegan will fill out the podium. Congratulations to Big Naughton. How about that? The former Pro Light champ finally picks up that coveted first win in the Pro 2 division.
And he'll be wanting to take a picture of these General Tire unofficial results from the TV. Not McGrath, Deegan, as we talked about. Hart with a solid race, keeping it there in the top 5. As we look back to the second part of the board, Rob McCachran all the way down at the bottom. That is seriously going to hurt his points championship repeat effort.
Good look there at that Ford-powered machine. Ready lift on the side. Of course, Lamb Energy, the company that Scott Bailey owns and operates. And let's go back for our Geico race recap. Brian Deegan led them early and for a long time.
We had some great battling going on, and Robert Naughton keeping it clean, as was Bryce Menzies. A little bit of door-to-door contact, but hey, that's all good. And then this turned Carl Renazetter around as he was battling for the front. Deegan and Menzies would get out and try to get away, but Menzies would have a problem.
Menzies out of the hunt, and then we go back to this battle between Rodrigo and Robbie Woods. Pretty much would eliminate both of them for any chance of a podium. Then a big hit right there as Deegan came across the front of McGrath, and Naughton took Deegan out of the lead. Naughton inherited it and hung on to it to the finish. Excellent job.
Rob Naughton, I've been waiting to interview you up here on the Pro 2 podium for that first spot. What a race, you and Jeremy up here. Congratulations.
Oh, it was awesome. This is incredible for the whole Stronghold Motorsports team. But, you know, to win my first race in front of my hometown crowd, it couldn't be sweeter. Arizona! And, you know, last year in Pro 2 was just a disaster, and I was starting to doubt myself. I was even doubting myself this weekend. But, you know, once I got up towards the front, the Fig of Old came out, and I got it to the front, and I got my first Pro 2 win. And, you know, I got to thank the people that have stuck behind me. Stronghold Motorsports, Lamb Energy, Maxxis Tires, Ready Lift, KC. God, the list goes on and on. Everybody that's on this truck helps make it all happen. Lucas Oil, I mean, in this great series they give us to race. And I don't even know what to say, man. I get my first Pro 2 win in my home state. Life is good.
You couldn't ask for a better way to start this season. Congratulations, Rob.
Round number 1 for McGrath, 14th. We're not going to talk about that because today, a great battle out front, man. Deegan out there, Naughton, McGrath, your teammate wins. You guys finished second. Great way to turn things around after the way you finished round 1.
Gosh, man, it was a tough day on Saturday. We were struggling. We got here, we were searching for setup. I got to hand it to the guys. We banged our heads last night for sure and tried to figure out what the heck was going on. And to be honest, on Saturday, I just couldn't drive it. I didn't have any confidence. And to come back with a second today, I'm stoked. I mean, we got this Ready Lift monster, Toyo tired Roush motor, Ford up on the box today. Stronghold Motorsports, super pumped about it, and gosh, what a turnaround from yesterday. Super excited about it.
Jeremy McGrath, round 2, finished second.
Well, Brian, we thought you had it for a second there, but you cannot be disappointed. First full series racing in this car, and the money's going to a good charity, right?
For sure. In the end, I'm so competitive. I want to win so bad, and was leading the race. And this time I tried to stay calm, but I just made a few mistakes. I need to work on it, but we'll come back firing. But in the end, it was all for a good cause. You know, the guys from Loma Linda Children's Hospital donated the money to them from this race, and you know, I'm happy. I wish I could have won some more money for them, but in the end, I think we're all good. So it's a good day.
Well, congratulations on your third place finish.
So the fans having a great time, and we'd love to see you at our events. There's a look at the 2011 season schedule. Make sure you find some time to come on out and say hello.